So, how do you manage to have a relationship with troublesome parents? Let's just put it that way. Troublesome parents. Parents who try to dictate how you should live, who try to rule your life, who try to tell you what you can and can't do, even though you're an adult and you have to make your own choices now. How do you manage having a relationship with that kind of parent? And what a lot of people will tell you, typically the advice you would hear is you can't. All right, you can't have a relationship with them. You have to set boundaries. You have to cut them off. You have to say, hey, I'm going to live my own life. And if you're not going to respect that, then you're not going to be a part of my life. And while I understand that kind of sentiment, I don't think that's the best way to handle things. Instead, what I think, it's kind of a complicated answer, but there comes a point in time where you are ready to make this self-sacrificing decision to be the person who takes the lead in building a relationship with your parents. But it only comes at a certain point. If, for example, you still feel like I used to feel this way, where basically, why should I have to be my parents' parent when it comes to building a relationship with them? Why do I have to be the one to take the initiative or to, set the boundary? If you're thinking like that, then maybe this advice isn't for you, and you're not at the stage yet where you can, build that relationship with them, because you're still thinking in this, hurt kind of way, which is fair, but it's not really conducive to building a relationship. Because when you do try to, take the initiative, it's always going to be in the back of your head that you're just like, why do I have to do this? Why not them? Why didn't they take a greater interest in me? Because they're my parent. They should have done this. So yeah, if you're at that stage, the advice I would give you is you just have to move on for now. All right, you should come back later when you've grown a little bit more and you've developed a more self-sacrificing love. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. The principle of love, called agape. Now, there are many types of love. And you might think, how is this related to what we're talking about? Well, what I'm talking about is trying to maintain a relationship with someone that it's difficult to maintain a relationship with. And in order to do that, you have to operate by agape, the principle of love. There are many types of love. There's romantic love, eros. There's friendship love, storge. It might have been the other one. There's philia, which is friendship love. I might have mixed those two up, but that's what I remember. But there is one other word for love. There's probably more, honestly, but this is one I remember, which is agape, which means the principle of love. So what is the principle of love, and how does this affect how we navigate, a troublesome relationship? So basically, when you live by a principle of love, you do things in a spirit of love, regardless of whether or not you feel like it, I suppose. So let's say, I'll give this example, because I remember I was talking to this person, and she told me that every now and then she goes to one of her parents, or she used to, she went to her parents when both of her parents were still alive. She went to her parents, and she would soak their feet in warm water and then peel all the dry skin off, which is why would you? to me, that just seemed like a lot of work. But the reason she was doing this wasn't because she loved peeling dry skin off her parents' feet. It was because she was operating from the principle of love, self-sacrifice, doing it because it was not because she felt like it, not because she enjoyed it even, but because it was the principle of that mattered. So when we live by agape, we have to operate by the principle of love. So what does this really mean? When it comes to the relationship that you're having with your parents, you take the initiative and you do things for them, not out of duty, not out of compliance, not out of, obligation, but because it is the principle of love which you are living your life by. So it kind of, I don't know how else to describe this, but it's like a mindset shift where you're not doing it for your own gratification. You're not doing it for their gratification. You're doing it because it's the right thing to do, basically. That's what it is. When you live by agape, you do things because it's the right thing to do. It's the loving thing to do. It's the kind thing to do. And in order to maintain a relationship with troublesome parents, you gotta do that. You gotta be the bigger person in a sense. But you shouldn't even think of it like that way, because that kind of statement holds some kind of resentment in it. Like, I have to be the bigger person. Yeah, that's kind of resentful, and resentment only affects you. So first, let it go. But to operate by that principle, you do things for your parents out of the principle of love. And I'm a broken record at this point. I'm repeating what I'm saying. So if anything, that's pretty much it for the video. So one thing you can actually do to apply this advice is give your parents like a call or text them. Ideally call them, but if you have to text them, and just ask them if they would like you to do something for them, like groceries, or like if they need help with groceries or cleaning, or you want to mow their lawn or something. Just have that kind of conversation with them. It's a start. All right, it's a start. And you're not doing this, remember, you're not doing this out of obligation. You're not doing this out of duty. You are doing this because you are living by the principle of love. And when you live by that principle for long enough, you begin to realize how many things in here just don't matter. And they're just, the heart gets hurt for no reason sometimes. Or you can literally just overlook 90% of things that have happened and just move on with your life and look forward and freely forgive. I just wanted to talk about this because I was speaking to a friend, and he had some struggles with his parents, and I know his parents, and it's complicated. I know their parents. I know his parents. I know him, and they're all good people. It's just when they get together or with each other, they kind of forget that, and they just revert back to their hurtful selves, I would say. So that's it for this video, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.